Greetings, everyone. Core here. Time for another midnight review. Unfortunately, I missed last week's review because I don't know, like it just slipped my mind. I'm not sure why, but last week I went to see Lego Movie 2. Great movie, very fun. It pretty much does what it's supposed to, and even has some really good moments. But it just slipped my mind completely, and I just totally forgot until like the weekend. And by the time of the weekend, it was just you know too late really to catch any kind of views. But yeah, so Lego Movie 2, it's good. But let's get on to today, which today was interesting because technically the early showings normally are Thursdays, but for this movie, it was actually yesterday, on Wednesday. And, well, 2 days ago. It's Friday. But yeah, like, it just, I didn't get to see this, opening early showings. I saw it, in the afternoon, the day that it normally came out. I actually saw it in Adobe cinemas, which was mostly showing Adobe 3D, which I haven't seen a 3D movie for a little while. Can't remember what the last. I know I saw Fantastic Beasts in 3D. I saw something else in 3D. It kind of Wreck-It Ralph 2. So, but this is the first time I'm actually seeing Adobe Cinema 3D, which definitely helps the picture for sure. I definitely recommend it over regular 3D or the real 3D. IMAX 3D, of course, is still pretty awesome too. But as far as Dolby Cinema 3D, it's pretty up there. I mean, because you get the better picture, the better contrast, the higher definition, feels like at least the imaging, just the blacks and, more black and the whites, it just everything just pops more. And I think it helps with the 3D, especially since you're already wearing the glasses. So that's out of the way. It was pretty good in 3D. Don't really recommend it too much just because uh, 3D is okay. This movie does take advantage of a lot of 3D stuff, but it doesn't get that. It's a lot of times they always like to throw things at you, which they literally throw things at you here, but they don't feel forced like most 3D movies. Most 3D movies are often pretty forced as far as it's like, oh look, we're in 3D, but this one feels more in character of the movie. And of course, the movie is based on a manga, which I have not read. It wasn't even on my radar until I actually saw the first trailer for it, which is interesting enough because the first trailer came out about a year ago, and it was supposed to come out during the summer last year, and then it got pushed back to November, December, and now it got pushed back to February, which is interesting. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they polished it up some more. James Cameron is involved as a producer, so the visuals are there, as well as Robert Rodriguez is probably the perfect director to adapt manga, you know, any kind of anime really to real life because he is a visual worker and he likes to, from Sin City to even his Spy Kids movies, he has a very good understanding of green screen and blue screen, just like everything that you could do with it, and pretty much what you could get away with, really. Plus, you got James Cameron, with some visual ideas, so it's a really great mix, perfect blend, really. And the movie looks amazing, really. Just right off the bat, it looks great. All the actors are, giving it their all. Nobody's really phoning it in. Doesn't feel cheesy or corny, which probably is like I've had high hopes for this movie for a while, and with every trailer, I keep having more and more. And I would say it definitely met those hopes because anime movies, being westernized, coming to the Western audience, haven't been that great. Ghost in the Shell, latest one, which was horrible. Just, I mean, that was just bad. We saw my review. It's just bad. Almost made me cry. But this one, of course, like I said, I don't have as much information or background in this series, this franchise, as Ghost in the Shell, but still, you know, I could recognize because this is, I believe, is an older series than Ghost in the Shell, and I could see some of the similarities as well as some, new stuff that is really cool. And I gotta say, like, I liked the way that they pulled everything off, the pacing, the plot. it has a great introduction, even for people that never, know about the cyberpunk kind of style. Uh, it's introduces you really well, informs you, doesn't really confuse you too much. I mean, if you've seen movies at all, you kind of understand a lot of stuff, especially these, futuristic movies. So everything just works. It doesn't. It's not. The movie is, of course, for fans too, people like anime and everything, but it's not a movie that is specifically for them. It's a generalized movie, but it just everything just works so well. Uh, a lot of the emotional parts too. Like there's a few people in the audience that they were actually getting uh, pretty involved in these characters, and the scenes that with the certain scenes, it's like I don't want to spoil anything, but man, like you get the impact of those scenes, and it doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel rushed, it feels just right. And like I said, it everything about this movie, there's a lot to take in, of course, because they're literally introducing this whole cyberpunk world. I don't know if it's really cyberpunk. It's more like cyber. It's like Ghost in the Shell of, kind of went to shit in a basket. So, uh, it's set in the 2500, something like that, 26th century. So it's interesting, and I actually like it a lot because after you get the visuals are action packed and amazing. The characters are really fun. Just seeing a very well done, if not great, adaptation of an Japanese anime manga source, done as well, puts high hopes for something in the future. Granted, of course, I wish Robert Rodriguez would do them all along with James Cameron, but that's probably not going to happen. But hopefully, a lot of movie directors and developers take this movie as a standard and they just improve from here because I don't want to go back to really bad anime, Western movies because supposedly Cowboy Bebop's in the works and Akira's in the works, and those are pretty big and close to me, and I don't want to definitely see those fails after Ghost in the Shell failing so hard. So gotta see what happens. The whole thing that they did with the main character Alita, her eyes enhancing them to make them look more anime-ish, actually is really cool. It kind of points out it's like, hey, this is the main character. This is they don't look freakishly big. They actually seem to work for some reason. I don't know if it's because it seems like they scaled her down a little too. Like she's not as tall and not as big as she normally is, but I'm not too familiar with the actress, of course, so I can't really say. But it does seem like she is slightly smaller than what she should be compared to everybody else. But I could be wrong. Maybe she is just a small woman. But man, like the eyes just work. It all works. It man, like everything in this movie just works. Even the ending, it's not one of those. I think after Avengers Infinity War, I think now it's okay if we don't wrap everything up in our movies. And I kind of like how they ended this because it feels like they could make a sequel. They probably won't make a sequel, but they could if they wanted to. It leads off into something it ends into something that feels complete, but also you could easily pick up from it. So I like the ending. Like just like everything about it. It's a really great movie. I hope it does well enough, at least makes its money back to maybe even get that sequel because this is definitely gonna get some fan base later on. Um, but yeah, it's there's some memorable scenes in this movie, and I don't know. It's just I'm just happy that this was not a horrible disaster of a movie, and I hope it just grows in fan base after this. So here's hoping for some more westernized anime coming, movies coming soon, being good. So, till next time, guys. Later.